So guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to discuss about managing the budget of fuel, or your car fuel budget. I know that everybody who has a vehicle definitely spends money on fueling that car. Sometimes, depending on how much money we have to spend, it can become a burden, and to others, they don't feel the heat of fueling their vehicles. Like myself, I will show you this vehicle behind here. This is a vehicle that you guys probably know quite well because I have brought it on this channel so many times. This vehicle consumes around 18 kilometers to 1 liter. So anytime I fuel with like 180 shillings, I buy 1 liter of petrol, this car will give me around 18 kilometers. But when I travel long distance, it can deliver even up to 22 kilometers per liter. But how have I been managing my fuel budget? I have never set aside money and said that that is for fueling car from my salary. I just fuel this car occasionally. When it runs out of fuel, I go to a petrol station nearby and fuel it. But I have never felt the pressure. I have never felt tired of fueling this car, because every time I'm fueling, I just fuel, I would say 500 shillings, maximum 2,000. Another time I fuel maybe 500, another time 1,000. And at the end of the month, I had no idea of how much money I end up spending on fueling the vehicle. And this is a problem with so many Kenyans and so many people who drive their vehicles. It is very, very important for you to know how much money do you spend fueling your vehicle. And this is the idea that I'm going to give you. Since November last year, I decided that I will not be fueling my car occasionally. I decided that every time I am fueling, it has to be full tank or nothing. And at that point, I started actually feeling the pressure of fueling a car. Because when you walk to a petrol station and you leave 8,000, because this car has a fuel tank capacity is around 42 liters. So to fill it up to the brim until it is full tank, it will consume around 7,800 if it was like almost completely empty. Leaving 8,000 shillings in a petrol station, my friend, it is not something easy. I have actually become more prudent in terms of how I use this vehicle. If I'm just leaving my house to go to the market a kilometer away, nowadays I have decided to be walking. If it is not mandatory to use the vehicle if I am going to town, I don't go with it, because I don't want the 8,000 to get finished. Last year, once I put the 8,000, there were so many travels because of Christmas and those kind of stuff. I can tell you that I fueled two times with 8,000, and it didn't take me the whole of December. And that thing triggered something in my mind, and actually I came to a realization that so that is how much I have been spending on this vehicle. I didn't have an idea that fueling a car can be so expensive when it is so small, when its fuel efficiency is so high. So, every time I would put 500 shillings, every time I put 2,000, I just ignored it and thought it was something very small. But I was not adding up at the end of the month how much money had I spent. So since I started fueling full tank, spending 8,000, guys, I can tell you that my budget, I have come to realize I have been spending over 20,000 on fuel in this car, and that is just for private use. Right now we are in January date, today's date 11, and already the 8,000 that I fueled a week ago around the date 2, date 3 there of January, it's really descending at a very high rate. It's going down, and I'm just wondering, very soon I'll be fueling again with 8,000. So I'm trying to avoid going around with this vehicle as much as possible if it is avoidable. But if it is not avoidable, definitely the vehicle is there to be used in that way. So my advice to everyone here is that try as much as possible to be fueling your vehicle full tank. Whether you are doing Uber, whether you are for private use, try as much as possible to fuel your car to full tank. And by doing that, you will be able to track your fuel budget very, very easily. Because if you do that 2-3 times a month, then it is easy to say I spent 8,000 3 times, and that is 24,000. But if you are just fueling 2,000 here, 2,000 there, 500 here and there, you will have no idea of how much money actually you are spending on fuel. And you could be finding yourself in a situation whereby you need to improve your cash management, your budget, reduce your expenditures, but you don't know exactly what expenses are you supposed to cut. So for me, this year is a lean year. I said that I need to cut unnecessary expenditures, and I started by starting to identify where does my money go? Where does it go in ways that are not mandatory? And that's how I came to this and decided that I am going to reduce how I am going around. I am going to monitor every single shilling I use on car fuel. And actually by the end of the year, this year 2025, I will be able to tell you guys how much money exactly did I spend on fuel. So please take that advice. Try every time you fuel, just put full tank and relax and see how long it will take you. At the end of the day, that money you will have to spend it either way. But if you use it in a way that is so much segregated, in so much separated in terms of 500, it will make it very hard for you to track and trace how you spend your money. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching and have a lovely weekend. So you can also watch those vehicles going to Kamiti Road. Hizo ni magari zinaenda Kamiti Road. Hii kagari ni kangu, mnakajua sana. Bado kananipea service at 360,000. You guys mnaenda kubai gari za 1.3 na the same size, same capacity, same use. So janjaruka. So hizo ni magari zinaenda Zimmerman. Hizo tu nataka kuwaonyesha kidogo. Pale chini zinaelekea pale Total Petrol Station na sisi tuko tu hapa. So that is it for today. I hope I'm giving you some good insights. Enjoy the view.